So in this video, we're going to take a look at how to find the percentage of an amount. So let's start off again with a nice example. Let's say that we want to have a starting amount of $360. Now, we're going to say that this is 100%, and we're going to use this to help us find lots of other percentages. And then we'll apply this to some further examples later in the video. So if I start by saying that $360 is 100%, there's three that I think are the most important. Can we use this to help us find what is 50%, what is 10%, and what is 1%? So in the previous video, we did introduce this idea, and what we're going to have to do is divide our amount by 2 to get 50%, divide it by 10 to get 10%, and divide it by 100 to get 1%. So these shouldn't be too difficult to find. We should be able to do these quite quickly. So 360 divided by 2 is 180. So $180 is 50%. $36 is 10%, and $3.60 is 1%. Okay, now we've got those, we can build up different ideas to work out different amounts. So for example, let's try and work out what 20% is. Let's try and work out what 75% is. And let's work out what 48% is. Okay, so we'll start off with the 20%. So the 20% can be made up of two 10%, and we know what 10% is. It's 36. So 20% is going to be 72. I'm doubling the 36. If I wanted a 75%, well, I can work that out too, because I can take my 50% and I can say, well, 25% is going to be half of that. So that's 90. And if I add a 50% and a 25% together, I'm going to have my 75%. 75% is 270. So let's add that to the diagram. $270 is 75%. Now, $48 is the hardest one we've had so far, but perhaps we could use different information to help us find that. Now, rather than constructing 4 10s and a 5 and 3 1s or something complicated like that, maybe we could work out 50%, which we've already got, and then take away 2% to leave us with the 48%. So going back to some previous work, we can see that 50% is 180. Let's write that down. 2%, well, we could use our 1% and double it. 2% is going to be $7.20. So if I take that away from my 180, I'm going to have my 48%. 48% is going to be 172.80. Okay, so that's the sort of thing we're going to be doing to build up our understanding and work out percentages without a calculator. Let's see if we can do a more straightforward example now. So let's see if we can find 23% of 940. Okay, so to work out our 23%, let's think of the best way of doing this. Well, perhaps we could use 10%. So I could do 10% times 2, but I'm just going to write it twice. I don't think it's too much effort to do that. And then we're going to find some 1%. Let's have 3 of them and add them up. Now, of course, I could do 10% and then double it, and then 1% and then treble it. But just to help you understand this explanation, I'm going to write it like that. That's going to give me my 23% I'm looking for. So what are those things? Well, a 10%, we divide by 10. That's going to be 94. Another 10% is another 94. Now, a 1% means dividing it by 100. Well, that's going to be 9.4. They're all going to be 9.4. And now we're in a situation where we can add these up. So if we keep the decimal place there using our rules of addition, 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. Then we're going to have 3 nines, which is 27, plus the 1 is 28, 36. And then we've got a 9 and 9 and a 3, well, that makes 21. So our answer is 216.2. Okay, well, let's do one more example. So this time, let's do something higher. What about 88% of 310? So to find my 88%, I think I'm going to work out 12% and then take that away from 100%, which is 310. So my 12% could be made up of a 10% and a 1% and a 1%. So we can work those out. That's going to be 31 plus 3.1 plus 3.1. Okay, now if we work that out, we are going to have 37.2. So we've got our 12%. Now, I'm going now to work out 88%. I'm going to take that away from our 310 because that 310 is worth 100%. So 310 take away 37.2. I'll do this with a standard subtraction because it's nice and complicated. It's another thing to practice. So we're going to borrow and place 1 there. We're going to cross that out and place the 1 there. 10 take away 2 is 8. 9 take away 7 is 2. We're going to have 10 take away 3, which is 7. And then a 2 left over there. So our answer is going to be 272.8. Okay, I hope that helps you to understand how to do some percentages with no calculator.